Hey there guys, I am the Sixth Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. So yesterday, just before everyone got distracted by the Heresy release which happened today, there was a rather huge leak of the upcoming Chaos Codex with a load of rules and abilities and profiles and points costs all shown off to us. And today I wanted to do a very quick video. I will cover other parts of the codex and the leak, I'm sure, but today I wanted to look at one unit in particular because of his links to my favourite chapter, the Dark Angels, and that is of course the Enigma himself, CYPHER. So yes, as you can see, the rules for CYPHER have been shown off. He comes in at 90 points, or what looks like 5 power if you want to use him in a Crusade game. And as well as still having one of the most amazing models ever, he actually has a pretty solid set of rules to go along with it. He has a decent stat line with 2s to hit in melee and at ranged, strength and toughness 4, 6 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 9 and a 3-up save. He does of course have Armour of Contempt for the -1 AP, and notably he doesn't have any melee weapon before we get onto anything else, so those 6 attacks, whilst it seems like a decent amount, they're probably not going to do that much really. The overall stat line is, I will admit, nothing stellar. It's nice, it's decent, but it's not going to blow you away. But then again, it's these special rules where CYPHER has always, in the past, shown off his strength and his usefulness on the battlefield, and he really doesn't disappoint in this new book either. He has the Let the Galaxy Burn rule, which is essentially the Chaos rule that unlocks their version of the doctrines like the Space Marines have. For them, it is called Wanton Destruction, Wanton Massacre, and Wanton Slaughter, and these progress like the Marine doctrines do, but instead of giving you better AP, they give you exploding 6s to hit with certain weapon types. I would say in comparison, it's maybe not quite as good rules-wise, with all the good armor save and Armor of Contempt in the game at the moment, but it's definitely more fun, and exploding 6s is a bit more random, but it kind of fits in with that Chaos play style where they are a bit more random and a bit less sort of structured and rigid. So I do actually like it, and I think in general I do prefer it to the Space Marine doctrines. Now CYPHER does have the Traitoris Astartes keyword, so I do believe he will get these. As far as I can read in what you can see on the screen now, there is nothing that prevents him from getting them, so I do believe he does. So that means that on his 2 pistols from turn 2 onwards, he will be getting exploding 6s to hit, which does add a decent amount more punch to his damage output as well. But on top of that generic rule, his other rules are, I will be honest, actually really good. Mysterious Protection grants him a 4-up invuln and the hit version of Transhuman, so he can never be hit in melee or at ranged on less than a 4+, which really does do wonders for his survivability. But despite that, you are eventually at some point going to get caught in a bad situation, and there is going to be a lot of shots coming towards you, and he is able to get around that with his other rule, which is called Escape. So if you've got an enemy squad which is bearing down on you, getting ready to charge in the next turn or two, you can do this. And what this does is once per battle, you can just nope out of there at the end of any shooting or fight phase. You just remove the model and it goes into reserves. It is incredibly powerful if you are too close to an enemy, or you get caught out of position, or you are just fighting against an army like the Dark Angels that are really trying to gun you down in a Crusade mission, for example. You just can completely scupper their plans and make it so much harder for them to achieve their objectives. Elsewhere, he can also fire both his pistols after he's advanced or fallen back thanks to his blazing weapons, which is a really nice rule in terms of letting him just keep that fire up as much as he possibly can while still avoiding the enemy or just getting around the board or getting into terrain or whatever. And on the subject of his weapons, they are also pretty damn good. His bolt pistol is an 18-inch 6-shot gun at strength 4, -1 AP and 1 damage, and his plasma pistol has 3 shots at 12 inches at strength 8, -3, 2 damage, and no risk of overheating. It is genuinely a lot of shots. It's 9 shots base, with obviously exploding 6s if you are in the right doctrine version, so you can get a good amount of shots down range, and whilst it's not the most terrifying firepower, he can still pretty reliably kill a good 2 or 3 marines every shooting phase, which will of course add up over the game if he is just left to plink away at your opponent. What is probably his best ability though is his Agent of Discord rule. And with the changes to CP in the newest chapter approved, this is really going to be a huge boost to your army and a huge detriment to your opponent. Basically, anytime your opponent uses a rule to generate or refund a command point, you roll a d6 and on a 4+, they don't get it. This doesn't count the CP you get automatically each turn, but to be honest, almost every army in the game now has some way to regen or generate new command points each turn, so this is going to mean probably at least 2 or 3 less command points for your opponent over the course of the battle, which in my opinion is almost worth that 90 point cost for him just in itself. If you value CP at around the 20 to 30 point mark, which I do, that pretty much is going to pay for itself over the course of a game. I just think that he is a fantastic unit for disrupting your enemy's plans and your enemy's stratagems, and on top of that, whilst that may be his main reason for you bringing him, on top of that he is just generally a really slippery bugger that your opponent will really struggle to get hold of, and all the while he is going to be there pushing out a not insignificant amount of shots that can easily lead to him killing, a good 6 or 7 or 8 marine profile models over the course of the game. So he's just going to be a monumental nuisance for your opponent in terms of them holding objectives, using their stratagems, and just trying to get around the board while he's running around, just taking pot shots at them and getting in their way. All in all, I do have to say, I do think that CYPHER has a lot of potential. He's always, in my opinion, been a bit of a meme unit in the Chaos books in the past, but this version that they have now, he genuinely does have some teeth and some really useful, powerful abilities that are going to put your opponent on the back foot, and especially in this new post-chapter approved meta, they're going to make him really useful for basically just getting in the way of your opponent's plans, and you are going to be able to make your points back on him really quite quickly, I think. So there we go, that is the Fallen Angel CYPHER. What do you think of him though? Will you be taking him in your Chaos lists, or will you be joining the Inner Circle and trying to hunt him down for good? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.